I decided I needed to make a change and I needed to break the cycle, put in the time and effort, fall back in love, and improve. Hi guys, my name is Lula and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about getting back into chess improvement, studying again for the first time in a very long time, and getting a new chess coach. So if you don't know me, I'm a chess player who started playing during the pandemic, just like everybody else. I started playing and streaming around the same time, so I was documenting my improvement journey, and I improved relatively quickly. I wasn't like a prodigy or anything, but I reached a level of around 1500 after a year, I want to say. That seemed to be, relatively impressive to most people. At least that's the response I got at the time, as people were very supportive and encouraging. There was a point where I stopped caring so much about improvement because I had built something of a community online. I was making a lot of memes about chess and trying to make a lot of friends. And I started to care a lot more about this than about getting better at chess. It was during the pandemic and I had just graduated from university, so I was very unemployed. I was streaming pretty much full time, sometimes 45 hours a week of streaming, which I can tell you is not like working a 9 to 5 because I have done both. And people who stream 40 plus hours a week, I don't know how they do it, honestly, because that burnt me out very quickly. And there is no way I could go back to streaming that many hours a week ever again. So on stream, I played a lot of Blitz. I even played a lot of Bullet when I was sub 1000 level, which obviously isn't recommended. And then I also played Rapid Chess. And Rapid Chess is when I could think through the moves a bit more and also talk through the moves. And people seem to enjoy that aspect of seeing my thought process and seeing my thought process develop over a period of time and seeing me improve and gain rating. And of course, number goes up equals happy chemicals in the brain. And so people love that. But like I said, after a while, chess turned from a game that I really loved playing into a proxy for making friends and building a community. Something that was much more important to me because I was very lonely. As a child and a teenager, I did very well at school, but I failed at extracurricular activities. As soon as things became tough, I tended to quit. I played saxophone for a year. I had singing lessons for a year. I played football for a year. But every time I had to start putting in extra effort to improve, I gave up. I really wanted to start things, but I never wanted to finish them. I obviously continued these habits up until adulthood, where I would start hobbies. For example, during COVID, I started learning to sew. I got a sewing machine. I spent hours on that hyperfixation, and then one day I quit and I never picked it back up again. I had many COVID hobbies, and chess is the only one that stuck. I think what I enjoyed was at the beginning, even though there is a steep learning curve, doing any amount of effort shows great results, and there's so much to learn in chess that you can learn a little bit and see yourself improve enormously. Of course, until you reach a plateau, and for everybody, that plateau is a different level, and it honestly depends. Your plateau might come very early if you just play casually, or it might come at 2000 because you play every day and analyze all your games and you don't actually realize how much time and effort you're putting in. But I was playing a lot, but not high quality games, and I was never focused. I was always multitasking chess and streaming at the same time, moderating my chat, trying to come up with funny things to say. I don't know if you've ever streamed, but it kind of feels like being on the radio because you want as little dead air space as possible. Chess is a little bit unique in that people do want to see you focus and see you think, but nobody wants to see you sit in silence for half an hour. They want to hear your thoughts, and even explaining your thoughts to the chat whilst you think during your rapid game requires extra effort that you wouldn't otherwise have to spend. So of course, after my chess plateau, my hyperfixation completely dropped off. I was totally obsessed with chess at the beginning. I would even dream about it. It's pretty much all I thought about. But then one day, I lost all interest in playing outside of my stream. I kept going. I played chess tournaments. I was very invested in the results of those chess tournaments, even though I knew I wasn't putting in the work on my openings that I should be putting in and putting the work in the study that I should be putting in, because all of the work that I was putting in was into the content creation aspect of it. And this was because I knew that I could keep building a community and I knew that I could keep making friends. This was just much more important to me than seeing my elo go up. And honestly, I think it will always be more important to me than seeing my elo go up. I took a break this year from playing tournament chess. I haven't played a single tournament since the London Chess Classic in December December 2024. I honestly spent the whole year pretty much as a break from chess. It's now mid-October, and I started having coaching pretty much this month. I just had my second coaching session a day or two ago, and I would love to talk to you about how that went. But it took me a long time to get to this point. I realized that being a content creator and a chess beginner at the same time really affected the relationship that I have with chess. At the beginning, I had a lot of imposter syndrome, which is one of the reasons why I started playing tournaments. And then that imposter syndrome went away, and then it came back after I got my title and after I got all the backlash from that. I have a video about that. If you're interested, you can watch it. I would say that yes, the imposter syndrome came back and stayed, because I saw my peers putting in a lot of time and effort into improving their chess and also streaming. And I kind of ended up falling out of love with both. And right now I'm not streaming. I'm focusing on other content platforms, including YouTube. Hi, that's why you're seeing more of me. And hopefully you're enjoying these new styles of video. Let me know. I decided I needed to make a change and I needed to break the cycle. I needed to put in the time and effort if I wanted to change my relationship with chess, fall back in love, and improve. Because that's one of the things that I fell in love with chess with in the first place, was that it's endless, you have infinite possibilities, and you have so much to learn. Because I had just graduated from my degree and my final exams, and I had this intellectual drop off where I'd gone from doing a lot of work to having literally nothing to fill my days. It was just blank emptiness, the rest of my life to fill. What do I do with it? And the worst thing is, we were in lockdown, there are no jobs and everything was shut down. So it was tough to go into nothingness, and I think that chess really provided a structure for me when I needed it the most. I realized that I wanted to heal that relationship and that it was important to me, because even though I still believe that I don't have a numerical goal elo, and that I don't think that I need to be number goes up happy, number goes down sad, I know that I will feel better when I improve, because I will be learning new things, and I fucking love learning new things. Why have I stopped myself from learning new things for these past few years when I love learning new things so much? Anyway, time for me to announce my new coach. My new coach is Women Grandmaster Tatiana Kostyuk-Dornbush, who is a Ukrainian player. She is based in France, and she did a little bit of group coaching for me and the Jersey Olympiad team that I didn't play on last year or the year before. So we actually had never met in person until last weekend, and she came here and we did an IRL in-person lesson, which was really nice because it's been such a long time since I've had an in-person lesson. I don't even know if I've had in-person lessons other than group training or post-game analysis and stuff like that at the Olympiad, but a one-on-one sit-down coaching session in real life, not sure honestly, but it was great. And it was only my second session with her, so we're still kind of figuring out how things are gonna go. She was recommended to me by a friend who had continued to have coaching with her after those group sessions, and I honestly really enjoy having a coach who is in the same city and is also on the same time zone. I think these practicalities just make things easier. And also Tatiana is very nice and highly qualified. I'm sure you guys want to know what goes on during the coaching sessions. So first of all, yes, she does give me homework. It is from the Steps books, which I've talked about on this channel before. I think that the Steps books are great because they have different numbers for different levels. And we are also going to be working on some openings. So as some of you may know, I've been quite unhappy with my black repertoire for a while. I am finally changing from the French defense. Claps. We've had a little bit of discussion about what kind of thing I'll play, and I don't want to give away my repertoire for all of the people who are prepping for me by watching this video. No, I'm kidding. I'll be hopefully learning to play e4, e5 as black, because I already play e4 as white. This is not a secret. Obviously, there's lots of things you can do with e5. Obviously, white gets to choose what happens next, but black still has a lot of options after that. And I've been really afraid to learn e4, e5 because of this, because white has so many options. But I think that I learned so much when I changed to playing e4, and I think I will learn so much by changing to play e5. Didn't want to play another opening, which I felt like was a compromise, because I feel like the French is a compromise because you only get the same variations over again and you only learn to play specific types of positions. And I think that by broadening my horizons with E5, I will become a significantly better chess player. I also, have some other openings that I want to review with Tatiana, which she knows what they are, but I will not be telling you guys just because, nothing is set in stone yet. But openings is something we'll be working on, as well as endgames. I don't think she knows this yet, but I really suck at endgames and I need to work on them. I've also been doing my own study. I now do a study session with a friend every week for 2 hours, and we do puzzles and we do practice games. And I've even been on Chessable. Guys, it's only taken me almost 5 years to be on Chessable, but finally making use of the courses that I have. And yeah, Tatiana and I have also been looking through puzzles. She will help me analyze my games, but I haven't really played many recently, so it's hard for her to analyze games that don't exist. But yeah, I'm feeling much better about the whole situation, and I think that that's the most important thing, is that I have some kind of motivation. I think for me, having like a sparring partner is really important. I would be happy to have multiple. I just need to find more people who are like similar level to me, who are also like down to try out openings. But having somebody that I meet up with every week to study and practice, and having coaching every week is really going from 0 to 100 for me, because I was doing nothing for my chess like all these years. Again, it's not to see number go up, number go down, but it's to feel some kind of sense of improvement and achievement, like if I'm getting good positions against higher rated players and that kind of thing. I think that's important to me. And one thing that's always been incredibly important to me when I've been playing classical chess is not the results of the games, but the quality of the games in what I perceive to be a good game from me. So if I lose a game, but I feel like I played really well, then I'm not devastated in the same way that like if I lose a game and I hung 3 pieces, because I feel like I really gave it everything I could. And that means a lot to me, because I think that for me, it's very important to feel like I proved something to myself. I want to win well, but I also want to lose well, if that's possible, if that makes sense. I think that I have a long way to go on this chess coaching journey, but every month or every other month, I would like to share an update with you guys on how it's going and how I'm feeling about chess improvement. And I would also love to hear your thoughts and feelings about chess study and improvement, why you do it, if you are dedicated, if you're like me and you haven't been dedicated, if you're trying to get back into it like I am. I will be hopefully sharing that with you, as long as I don't chicken out. But yeah, I also want to be able to share the resources that I'm using, like telling you guys I'm using the steps books, or some people have asked which Chessable course that I'm studying, which I will link in the description box below. Not sponsored. Chessable, if you want to sponsor me. A lot of people have been asking which Chessable course I'm studying. If you like this kind of content, make sure you're subscribed to see the next video. And please like this video. If you haven't, leave a comment down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.